The final weeks of May 1991 marked the end of an era of oppression and tyranny for the Eritrean people, and with it signaled the dawn of a new age. For close to 50 years, they had struggled diligently to achieve the fundamental right to determine their own destiny. And having won the right to define their status and chart their future, they voted with a single voice for independence in a referendum held from 23rd to 25th April 1993. The people of Eritrea have forever altered the course of Eritrean history and launched a new phase in a struggle for unity, equality, and freedom. Deprived of their rights to self-determination and statehood, the Eritrean people were compelled to suffer an imposed and destructive war. And in mid-1991, after a long and bitter struggle, the forces of the Eritrean People's Liberation Front, the EPLF, entered and liberated the capital of Asmara, dealing a final blow to the largest standing army in Africa. They won a war that few thought could be won, fully aware of the difficulties and complexities that lay ahead, with determination and confidence. Upon entering the streets of their capital Asmara, the EPLF, that has proven to be a formidable force unparalleled in the history of the world's liberation movements, not because of resources and weaponry, but by the secrets of its victories and successes, found its population ecstatic with triumph and freedom. And in full recognition of the sacrifices made by its men, women and children, the Eritrean people committed themselves to a new struggle in making independent Eritrea a land of harmony and prosperity. But how was it possible that a nation that embodies diverse ethno-lingual groups and beliefs come to accomplish such feats? The answer is based on the people's long-standing cultures and traditions that emanated from the armed struggle period. And turning back the clocks of time, this program will take you to the determined Eritreans of the past with their well-reputed and unified and reverential history. To Eritreans, challenging vocabularies that express unity, selflessness, endurance, reverence for one another, and spirit of self-reliance are core terminologies that define their determination. hardship and obstacles which obstructed the process of identity building solely from love of the homeland, dedication and devotion. This very fact is therefore highlighted by the reality that religious maturity and culture of reverence with one another heralded the solid rock of Eritrean unity in a fashionably and extraordinary war during the 30 years of struggle for liberation.
Work has mainly been stressed in abolishing all the tribal, religious and other backward sentiments in the fighters. And we have succeeded in raising the political consciousness of the fighters to a national level.
Contemporary history tells us that right before the defeat of the Ethiopian colonial rules, the then colonial regime figured out the impossibility of defeating the Eritrean people with arms and exerted every effort to instigate conspiracies for weakening the unity of the Eritrean people and in trying to strike religious conflicts within their ranks. Nonetheless, the Eritrean people emerged victorious from every ordeal and challenge, signifying that their national and religious maturity went far beyond the naive political system of the tyrannical rulers.
ሃይማኖት አይትራዩ ወዓለት አይትራዩ ወአውራጃታት አይትራዩ هذه تكيرها كلاتكم اسلامكم كريستيانكم هذه خينكم بحنسا خبيتي بحنسا رايوه وطبوع بحنسا رايوه قد بحنتت إذ تغنكم تساريهم صبوغن بر كفو ايتريون يد الله مع الجماعة يزغى بهير مش حفاتيا حبروا هذا يدخلوا انا بزيار يلوم لكم احواتي دقي دق عدي خبرتي
Respecting the other not only at times of hardship and ordeal became an original culture in the character of citizens and constituted a bridgehead for surmounting challenges in addition to building a prosperous homeland with prospective welfare and progress. The role of women in the struggle, for example, that comprised over 25% of combatants was substantial and critical to the ultimate success of the EPLF, and by establishing a union in the late 1970s, they well organized and facilitated the participation of civilian women in the struggle and implemented programs in basic healthcare, literacy, and trainings to serve their needs.
Women are not participating in our struggle for liberation. This is because society discourages women from doing political activities. But now, due to education, they have started to be members of our underground organizations and some join the front.
organization, employing military means. But its goals were, however, never restricted solely to winning the war. As an integral part of its strategy, it pursued political as well as socio-economic goals during the armed struggle. Politically, the EPLF organized local communities to participate actively in their daily affairs. Village-level assemblies were elected in all EPLF-administered areas and bore responsibilities for their own governance. These local structures also provided the basis for the implementation of the socio-economic objectives of development. Nevertheless, considerable efforts were also made to provide basic education and health services. From its inception, the EPLF followed a policy of decentralization geared towards fostering balanced development, encouraging local initiatives, and redressing past implications. Decentralization was seen by Eritreans as a crucial pillar of the democratization process well before their country was independent, as they single-handedly defined the powers and responsibilities of local government. Village and regional elections were conducted throughout this period with adequate representation of ethnic language groups and the full participation of women successfully ensured. Equally with men, they rose to positions of leadership in the military and politics without any discrimination, and constituted significant proportion of the assembly members elected in EPLF-administered areas.
At the beginning, the villagers form committees, which usually are the village assemblies, which were traditional. These are linked to the front by a permanent representative. Later, cooperation developed.
Besides defining and putting in place decentralized structures to foster participatory governance, the people of Eritrea continued initiatives to put in motion the process of economic and political transformation in their country still before independence was achieved, and faced various challenges to create new and appropriate mechanisms entirely from scratch. Most importantly, these steps fulfilled their aspirations, well expressed through their long struggle and clear desire for peace, stability, equality, and prosperity.
We strongly maintain that our struggle will establish in Eritrea a society in which all the Eritrean must get equal opportunity in the struggle, and the building of a modern economic system, and also the distribution of the national income equally amongst all the members of the population. In short, we'll transform the Eritrean masses from their present state of a people in themselves to that of a people for themselves. That we follow the mass line in our struggle is indispensable to the success of the revolution and the defeat of the enemy. This line has been tested in all wars of national liberation as the only way to success as the only correct method of national salvation we can ever envisage.
The people also developed and enacted workable rights among themselves that included a broad range of rights for women, including guarantees for equal educational opportunities, equal pay for equal work, and legal sanctions against domestic violence. An important goal of the armed struggle was meeting the basic needs of the population and supporting the process of economic development, with self-reliance becoming a prominent theme throughout the struggle. The EPLF educated its fighters and provided for their needs by constructing factories in the base area and by developing extensive medical and educational facilities. Central to the EPLF's program was the view that the development of Eritrean society could not wait until after liberation, as it was well understood that progress must serve as a key objective of the liberation process itself. And in view of these challenges, sectoral departments of the EPLF that included health, education, agriculture, and transportation developed throughout the period of conflict. Moreover, EPLF fighters became barefoot doctors, teachers, mechanics, extension workers, and technicians, as well as combatants. The presence of such culture and conduct in their society gave immunity to the Eritrean people, thus protecting them from negative impacts and enabled them to confront challenges in a better manner, as well as consolidating the values of dedication and construction of the state. Eritrea's experience in state building has become a model case, and the process continued with ease and harmony in the post-independence period, owing to the sound base formed and established by the armed struggle experience.
One of the best things in the front is the unity we had among us. We came from different parts of Eritrea, people who came from the urban areas, people who came from the rural areas, people of different religion, men and women. But because we have unity, because we were determined to have the independence, and we believe that we are going to succeed. And finally, because of the unity which was there among the fighters, I think the value we had there enables us to succeed.
Generations to come, May 24th will mark a turning point in the lives of Eritrea's people. On this day, they won the ultimate reward for their struggle and sacrifice: freedom. The challenges and opportunities that faced them following this historic juncture were vast in scope and exhilarating in nature. But that the long, arduous struggle for self-determination had ended and the fundamental rights of the general people achieved, the road is well clear. Nevertheless, the people of Eritrea were victorious because they stood strong in the face of adversity and pain and never abandoned the struggle for equality, freedom and prosperity.
One following the attainable ambition